Hey, everybody out there. We got Greg Smith with us tonight from Backwoods Cryptids. How you doing, Greg?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
So, so what Backwoods? Where you guys located? Where's your hunting stomping grounds?
Northwest Georgia, in a little town called Chickamauga, and I go basically a good ways away from that, like in Alabama, Tennessee, because I'm right there at the tri-state area.
Oh yeah, that's a good area. Yeah, I'm kind of in a similar area down here in the Ozarks. We got
Where?
Arkansas, Ozarks.
Oh, you're near the Ozark Howler.
Yeah, Ozark Howler. We got the Ozark Howler. We're real close to Oklahoma. I'm right by the Arkansas border,
Mm.
so Falk ain't too far.
Yeah, I live at the base of Lookout Mountain, which is part of the Appalachian Mountain chain.
Oh, okay. A lot of action up there.
Oh
All
boy,
right.
you ain't kidding.
All right. So, what are your favorite cryptids, man? What do you like to go looking for?
Well, out here we have Bigfoot reports, Dogman reports, and then I'm still not sure on what kind of creature it is. We have Old Green Eye. That's kind of a local to this area cryptid. Some people
Oh,
think it's a ghost. Some people think it's a cryptid. I'm right there on the cryptid side because I have found physical evidence of an unknown creature in that park.
okay. So what kind of unknown creature you thinking it might be?
Well, so far I've narrowed it down to either Bigfoot, Dogman, or possibly a Skinwalker
Skinwalker. I got you.
because there's so many varied descriptions of it that the only thing I can think could change its form that way would be a Skinwalker.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's possibly a type of Bigfoot called a Gugway.
Gugway, we've got them around here in the Ozarks. Yeah, that's a type of Bigfoot that I think looks like a baboon in the face.
Yeah,
So yeah, a buddy of mine down the road actually caught one on a game cam. Yeah, he was on Expedition X. They came down looking for the Ozark Howler, had him on Expedition
I
X.
saw that episode. That was your buddy?
Yeah, he lives right down the road. Yeah,
Oh, heck yeah.
yeah, like five
No, I
minutes from
said
where I
good
live.
catch. Good
Yeah,
catch.
yeah, yeah. But the picture he got on his game cam, man, I looked at it, I was like, that looks like a baboon's face. He's like, yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. I saw the
Yeah.
picture on the show and I thought that was like a live action Rafiki from Lion King.
Yeah, yeah, that's hilarious. So, what kind of evidence you gather out there? You get anything good? Get any
I have
good
found
reports?
prints, but I've not been able to get the casting material due to financial restraints. So I just take pictures of them with something of a known object that we know the size of next to it or
Yeah,
in the print.
yeah.
Sometimes in my case, it's a cigarette. I know it's not a good habit, but everyone knows the size of a common 100 size cigarette.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah.
non-smokers know how big those are. So
Yeah, yeah. Cigarette pack. Actually, I think the one I found years ago, I found one printed, and that's exactly what I use. So,
but
go
the
ahead.
name, the show got its name simple because I'm a backwoods son of a bitch, and I go after cryptids.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with either one of those things.
uh-uh.
So do you get reports from people?
I
Um,
got reports every now and then they trickle in because it's a small community and people dang near know everybody, so they don't afraid of ridicule. But I'm
yeah,
trying to tell people, hey, you get no ridicule from me, you get no crap from me. I just want to hear your story. I want to get the evidence.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you. You ever get any good reports?
I had one. This lady said they found saw something and had tracks in their backyard, and I went and checked it out. And it was actually the day of our local festival called the Green Eyes Festival. So we had our first one last year. We got another one coming up this year. Uh, and I was working the festival. They called me after the festival was over, and I went and checked it out immediately.
Oh yeah,
So if I get a report, I'll get to you as soon as I have the time. If I'm not busy, I'll be there with lickety split.
yeah. So um, so have you had any like encounters? Let's
Oh
let's
yeah.
let's hear about some of your encounters. You ain't got to stop
Okay,
at
my first Class A sighting was out in the area near Helen, Georgia. I was working with a group called Mammal Research back then before I had my own channel, and it was just me. It was supposed to be a big group of us, but everyone else had to cancel except for me and my wife.
yeah.
And so it's just me and her out there. So I'm like, okay, we're here. Might as well do this. And first night, it was god awful. We had that big snow hit. It was in February. My tent turned into an igloo real quick.
Yeah.
So needless to say, we didn't do much that night. Except, try to get a fire going and stay warm. And then that next night, I decided, okay, there used to be Cherokee land, and they had oral traditions. Who's to say Bigfoot did not have oral traditions, passed down stories in their own tongue to So I decided to play Cherokee drums like they're having a party, The next morning, I'm cooking breakfast for me and my wife, and that son of a gun is up on the ridge watching me cook.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and here's the creep part. It understood me because I said I was in shock. I didn't know what to do. But I'm also a nice guy, so I got, come down, we'll fix you a plate. We was having bacon and eggs. It grunted and shook its head no at me. So they know our language. They know they understand English. Which I think that happened because they say Bigfoot can do the mind speak.
Yeah.
Well, if they can mind speak, they can read your mind.
Yeah.
That's how they know your language.
Yeah. Well, I believe that they probably do have the ability to do mind speak. I've never had it happen to me. But there's a lot of credible people out there that have had it happen.
Oh yeah. I've yet to have it happen to me. But the fact that it actually shook its head no at me, that tells me something.
Man, oh man, nobody turns down bacon.
Well, I have a theory about why I did. See, most people think that there's some type of Sasquatch or Bigfoot that are nocturnal and have a daytime guardian, one who's assigned to step. And I think he was the guardian.
Okay.
So he was being good sentry, guarding his post.
Yeah. I've heard of that too. They have I've heard them called like day watchers.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have the rest of the clan or whatever goes and they chill in whatever spot they're going to chill at for the day. And then the day watcher, they have them posted to keep an eye. And I think a lot of their communications might come through that too, because like the wood knocks or if they clap or howl or whatever, I think that's all types of communication. So what happened after it shook its head no? Did it stick around?
No, it just dropped off on the other side of the ridge, and we never saw it again. But we started getting headaches, nausea, and I had to go to work the next day. So we was packing up camp while I was having this intense headache. I mean, I've had migraines and hangovers. Like I said, I'm ex-military. We boys drink.
Oh yeah.
That never were this bad. And I've had migraines to the point I've had double vision. So I've never felt a headache this intense. We started driving off after I get everything packed up finally. And the further we got, the less the headache was. So I think it was trying to hit us with infrasound. My poor wife got sick of the dog, couldn't hold down her breakfast.
Oh yeah, that infrasound, that's a real thing. And I believe that, any creature can do it. I would believe Bigfoot would be able to.
Yeah, I mean, they even talk about large animals like elephants being able to do it.
Yeah, elephants.
And we all know a Bigfoot's nowhere near the size of an elephant.
Well, I would think.
Unless you're talking about the Ohio grassman, then it might be a possibility.
Yeah. I don't know. I've heard of some pretty damn big ones.
Well, the one I saw wasn't that big.
So, all right. So back to that. Was it behind anything? Was it completely out?
It was trying to hide in amongst the trees, but problem is it was so cold there wasn't really no leaves.
Oh,
and there wasn't no evergreens up there really, except for the to the far right of the view, and so it was just standing there trying to hide amongst all the tree, the limbs and so forth and the twigs.
So about how far away was it?
Oh goodness, I'd say about a good 50 to 60 feet, give or take.
Wow.
So it was close.
That's pretty close.
If it had spread down that ridge, it'd have had our camp.
Oh wow. So obviously you don't know exactly how tall it was, but
if I had to estimate, judging, because I did find a way up to that ridge after everything was said and done before we left to where it about was, So if I had to estimate using one of the trees that was there and my height, which I'm about 5'9", this thing had to be every bit of 10 to 12 foot tall.
Oh, wow. 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 That's a big boy. Wow.
Yeah.
I think if I ran into one, I mean, even 8 foot would be scary. I couldn't imagine something like. I think I'd probably faint if I saw something
Well,
that size.
all I can say is the stuff I learned from Uncle Sam. We learned to control our emotions in the time of a mission until it's all over. Then you
There
have
you
your
go.
breakdown when you get back to camp or
There you
base.
go. There you go. So
So
could you tell like the color, the hair, or
it was kind of a
any
darkish
features? Okay.
brown, but not exactly dark. I mean, a little bit darker than my hair.
Okay. Gotcha.
Uh, and it had that foul smell you always hear about Bigfoot, that rotten egg, sulfur smell.
Yeah.
Oh, knock a dog off a gut wagon.
Yeah, I've not ran into that smell. So, but I hear
I'm
about
starting
it
to
a
notice
lot.
that. I think it's mostly in heavily wooded areas. It's more foresty than mountainy. Because I know part out there you have mostly bare mountains, right? That's a little bit of shrubbery.
No, no, we got thick ass woods, man.
Okay, so it's about
I,
like so out there it's about like out here. Got it. And it
yeah, it's
also I
probably a
think
lot like
depends
it.
on how close it is to marshes too. Because I hear in the Apple, I don't know about out there, but I know out here we have marshes all over the mountains.
Yeah, there's not a lot of marshes out here. I mean, a lot of rivers and lakes and stuff, but not a whole lot of marshland.
Yeah. Well, those marshes, I think it gets in there, gets that mud on there,
Yeah.
then got the mosquitoes, and some of those marshes have that stink too,
Oh yeah, yeah.
because
100%.
the natural gases seeping up from the bottom.
Yeah, and all that decomposition of all the old
Exactly.
vegetation. Yeah. That's actually not a bad theory.
Well, I'm the kind of guy, if I see something or witness something, I have to try to explain every possible aspect, including the smells, the sights, everything. I have to find a way to explain it. That's just how my
Yeah.
mind is wired because I grew up reading Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So,
taking his thoughts to this, I find is what helps me best. Taking the Sherlock Holmes approach to his investigations, taking that same knowledge and that same techniques to cryptids.
I got you. So, have you had any other visuals?
Uh, One other, but I barely got a glimpse of it. Now,
Yeah.
this one happened literally just about 40 minutes down the road from me in an area called Pigeon Mountain.
Okay.
It's out here in Lafayette, Georgia. And my cousin, who was part of my research team as of last year, was out checking the area. A guy who passed his torch on to me, he'd been doing Bigfoot research decades before me. And they got to where they can't go out in the woods anymore. So they literally said, hey, take what we got, take our knowledge, use it to your advantage. And they said that they thought they'd been nesting up this part of the mountain called Estelle Mine, which is old mica mines. And we went and looked at it in the daytime. We found a beautiful nest, lean-to style nest. And we thought, okay, if the nest is right here, how far out you think they might be? Let's go on past the nest a little bit. We found where there's a small campground that's open part-time during the year.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently we pissed something off. I'm going to apologize for my mouth now. I got military mouth, y'all.
Why not? You can say pissed off. It's okay.
Okay. But because something large, I mean, too big to be a daggone black bear, which is the only bears we have out here,
Yeah.
was starting to crash. I saw something grabbing, whopping away the limbs. I told my cousin to drop down. I pulled out my weapon and I let off a couple of rounds in that direction. And I said, we got to get back to the truck now. We're going to double time it.
Yeah, there you go.
And I
When
have a
in doubt.
45, and this deterred, and that basically, I think the noise scared it more than anything, so I don't know if I hit it. But I
Yeah.
wasn't about to stick around and find out, because I doubt that
Yeah.
45 would do enough damage to slow it down.
Yeah. Well, when in doubt, pull it out.
Especially, the way I see it, when I'm out in the woods with a group, my job is make sure everyone goes home in one piece.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm the one who got them out there. That's my responsibility. Their safety at that point is my responsibility.
Yeah.
So I treat everything that way.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know that I don't carry when I go out because, well, honestly, I think if they want to get you, ain't nothing going to stop them. I don't even think that 45 would stop them. I'm just being for real.
Yeah, but you know what? That noise might scare them enough to give you just that one moment of time to get away.
I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to have that 45 if one come after me. I'm not sure it would do any good, but it might make me feel better at the moment.
Well, it also depends on what kind of rounds you get. I get very special rounds that kind of go through a brick wall.
Oh, there you go. Well, there you go. So, yeah, earlier you was getting ready to talk about another experience, or I mean, it don't have to be a visual.
Yeah, the third one was we just heard the sounds, the
Mm-hmm.
whoops and all the grunts and everything you traditionally hear.
Yeah.
And we was up again on Pigeon Mountain, just past the area called Sawmill Lake. It's a good fishing spot if you want to catch some catfish.
All right.
And they'd been doing some logging apparently up here. So we decided, okay, and we heard, well, first it sounded like someone yelling for help. And again, me being ex-military, I hear someone yelling for help in the woods. My thoughts is, okay, someone's in trouble. Let's go. So we start going that way toward it, and now all of a sudden we're hearing these tree snaps, tree knocks, whoops, all kind of activity. And I said, okay, I'm going to do a tree knock. About that time, we heard something sound like it jumped down from the tree at the edge of the logging area. And then we got a text from my wife. She had one over at her, back at her. She sat at the truck in case anything came out there. She's going to film it. Something was throwing rocks at her and left a big old one hit her with a rock, and it left a big old bruise about the size of a quarter on her leg.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so
You say it sounded like it jumped out of a tree?
yeah, kind of similar to a bear sound, but not exactly as you could hear. It was two legs.
Yeah.
When a bear comes down off the tree, you hear it snapping little twigs and so forth. Well, the twigs we heard snapping had to be every bit as big around as my forearm here. A bear ain't gonna break that.
Yeah.
No full-grown black bear ain't.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not entirely too big. I mean, they're big enough, but not entirely.
But not big enough to snap that big of a limb. I mean, God,
yeah,
man.
no. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we heard a thud where we like 2 feet. Like if you jump off a trampoline onto the ground.
Yeah.
Only a lot louder, obviously, because of the weight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my, we made it mad.
I think they're up in trees a lot more than people give them credit for.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Unfortunately, I didn't have my thermal with me because it was originally just supposed to be a scouting thing to check out the area to see if it could be viable for an investigation. Yeah. So I didn't have nothing but my firearm with me. And next time I go, I'm taking my night vision and my thermal because, yes, I do have a thermal, military grade binocular thermal.
Oh, okay.
That my wife got me.
Nice.
For my birthday a few years ago.
Was this when you guys were out there and this happened? Was it daytime, nighttime?
It was dusk.
Dusk. Oh, yeah. That's
just enough light to see where you're going, but you still want a flashlight because you don't want to step on a copperhead.
Yeah. No one wants to step on a copperhead. But
no, and they are heavy out in that part of the mountain because of the lake.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
And there's another smaller pond down the road close to where we parked. I mean, like right there across from where we parked. So I wasn't taking a chance with a copperhead. That's why I had a flashlight. Anytime I go out, I carry a flashlight, no matter what time of day it is.
I got you. So after you heard it come out and the rock thrown, did anything else happen that evening?
No, because we got down from there because only one of us was armed, and that was me.
Yeah.
If I go up there, I prefer to have at least 2 people armed if it's an actual investigation.
Yeah.
So if me being the only one armed, we say, "Not everyone get in the truck. We're out."
I got you. Yeah.
Too much. I have to worry about the safety, especially of my wife.
Oh yeah. I got you. I got you.
Because anything happened to her, I'll burn down a forest to get that son of a gun.
I got you. Yeah, mow it down. So, how often you guys get out? Is it like, is the Backwood Cryptids? Is that your channel
That's
or?
my YouTube channel where you can find all my work. I share all
Okay.
my research, my interviews if they're willing to come on camera, and I share all my investigations that I try to film on there. So everything from start to finish is on there.
Okay. All right. And where'd you say that was? I'm sorry, I missed it. It's on YouTube or
Yes, it's on
on
YouTube.
YouTube?
Now, where you found me on Facebook,
Facebook. Yeah.
Instagram, and
Yeah.
TikTok, I just use those social medias to help advertise my YouTube channel.
I got you. I got you.
So my main source to find my stuff is on YouTube.
Yeah, that's kind of how I do it too. You know, I kind of advertise on YouTube or on Facebook, and YouTube's where it goes down.
Now,
So go ahead.
now last night, me and my cousin and her new boyfriend, who's also a friend of mine, I'm the one who introduced them. And my wife and I, we decided to go out just to have some fun. No, just relax, no investigation, just decompress from the past few months.
Mm-hmm.
And we think we had a Bigfoot encounter and a Fae encounter.
A Fae?
Yeah, fairy.
Fae, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. That's what I was getting ready to say. Fae like fairies?
Yes.
I definitely want to hear that.
Okay.
I've gotten a few fairy encounters, and I've gotten some pictures from people. That
Okay. Well, I definitely want to talk to you about that one-on-one more because I'm not sure what this was, but there's an area called the Consaga River. If you take the right trail, there's an overlook. It overlooks the whole woods and the forest and everything. You can see on a perfectly clear day, you can see 7 different states, all the Appalachian states too.
Wow, that's cool.
It's awesome when you get a clear day. But we was up there just enjoying the night view. I mean, it was a little cloudy, so you couldn't really see much. We was above some clouds, so you can see clouds down in the valley some. Moon was coming in and out of the daggone clouds. Beautiful view, even though it wasn't a perfectly clear night. And all of a sudden, we're noticing on the other side from where we're at, lights. This little lights. Smaller than a daggone lightning bug.
Huh.
I took my thermal just because my buddy Hank had never seen one outside of his time in the military.
Yeah.
And he had his night vision because he don't go anywhere without that because he's an outdoorsman. He's an avid hunter. So that night vision helps him out. Well, he got his night vision out. Could not see any animals or any shit, even because on night vision you can even see bugs, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't see nothing causing that light, those little lights watching us on his night vision. So I get my thermal out just to back ourselves up and check. And I couldn't pick up a single thermal hit, except for the 4 of us.
Yeah.
Now I can't explain that. I mean, and every time we shine our flashlights on them, they disappear and they come right back after we take our lights off. I got up close to where these lights were coming out at, and I couldn't see no bugs of any kind. Mm-hmm. No lightning bugs, no kind of bugs. So you tell me, does that not sound like the Fae to you?
Sounds like the Fae.
Now, here's the weird thing. Right there below the lookout, there was a cross, and someone's ashes had been thrown there.
Oh, wow.
Now, at the base of that cross, I was getting a thermal hit at the base of that cross.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Now, I don't know. I wasn't about to go down there and mess with someone's actually remains. That's just disrespectful. But I'm wondering if by whoever threw those ashes there did something to aggravate the Fae, and that's why they were so active that last night. And this happened last night.
Oh, that's cool. So
I'm wondering if whoever threw those ashes there did something to aggravate the Fae by throwing the ashes there, and that's why they were so active.
So yeah, I don't know. That could be. Have you ever had any Bigfoot experiences in that location?
Yes, because as we was leaving, coming home for the night, because like I said, we just sat there trying to enjoy the beautiful views. Wasn't expecting nothing like this. Something started tracking us and chasing our truck, and we could hear it crashing through the woods. We got so worried that my buddy Hank and me both, and my wife even, drew our guns out. My wife has a 9mm. My buddy Hank has a 9mm. It looks kind of like one of the 1911s. And I have my 45 1911. We all three drew our guns out, and we stopped and waited for this thing to come at us. We were that worried about it catching us.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I mean, I was hanging out the daggone truck, Dick Tracy style, waiting on this thing.
You need to get hooked up with the guys from Mountain Monsters. They're always carrying guns.
Well, in my neck of the woods, if you don't carry a gun and a knife out in the woods, then you are considered a moron.
Yeah, I always have a knife on me, but
yeah, because we have predators out here. Like, we have boar, we have mountain lion, we have black bear, we have coyotes, and we do have some wolves. All those, if hungry enough, will consider us a food source.
100%. Yeah.
So guess what? The gun ain't really for the big for these things we're trying to look into. It's to make sure those other things don't get us. But if it just happens to save us from those unknown things, it's a bonus.
Yeah, yeah. I'll ride with you on that one. So
I'll go out to harm a Bigfoot or hunt these creatures to do them harm, unless they get aggressive with me.
Yeah,
first.
that's just protection. That's good to let people know, because some people are sensitive about that subject.
Yeah, I always say the gun is a last resort to protect yourself from harm, whether it be from a known creature, a human, or a cryptid creature.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be more scared of the people out there than the.
Oh, no kidding! No kidding.
So you were talking about the lights, and the reason I brought up if you had any Bigfoot activity was because I was talking to, I'm pretty sure it was Tom Cantrell that told me this, that he believed that the fairies might be watchers over the Bigfoot, kind of like watchers or maybe, I don't know, maybe like teammates or something. They work together.
Well, considering what happened, I'm willing to go with that to an extent. I think they're the ones who do the observation, and then when they think something's a problem, they call in the Bigfoot.
Yeah. So yeah, he said they kind of he seems to run with this theory that they work together, and that can explain a lot of the orb things, the orbs that you see. Now you said these were not very big.
No, they're about the size. You know the old push pins people used to use for sewing? They have about a head pin on them, about that small.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Kind of. That's about how big these lights were, and they were, if I had to count them, just on a rough guess, 50 to 60 of these things.
And they stayed lit up the whole time? Like
yeah, but they'd move around a lot, so it's kind of hard to keep track.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, there's like how we would probably look on a satellite walking around the forest.
Yeah.
Instead of a forest and trees, it's the grass and the weeds out there walking around.
Yeah. I've only seen one light in the woods, and mine was about the size of a baseball or softball size. So, and it was only one.
Yeah.
So that's the first time I think I've heard about tiny ones in a bunch of them. That's kind of cool. So have you ever seen any orbs bigger than that, or?
No, that's my first time seeing strange lights in the forest.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the club.
When we first saw him, we thought it was an animal, and my buddy Hank, who I call him my brother because I've known him, and I could call him right now if I was in trouble. He'd be here lickety split. In fact, he actually made me this for my birthday, which is coming up. He made this from scratch.
Oh, that's cool. Very nice. Very nice.
He does that. That's what he does for a living. He's an artist.
I got you.
But he does woodwork and 3D printing. But he's an avid outdoorsman, has been. He's 47, so he's like 6 years on me. He's not easy to scare. He's a big old tough, he's like Buck from Mountain Monsters.
Yeah.
But he's about as crazy, but he's about as stable as Trapper. But when he's in fight mode, he's about as Wild Bill.
A good combination of all three.
Yes. But he saw these lights, and all of a sudden he's like, what the heck?
And did you mention what color they were? I don't remember.
Kind of an orangish reddish color, if I had to remember. Wouldn't you say, honey? Okay. Orangish red?
Okay.
But the first thing that really popped in my head before the Fae was the old story from this region of the country called the Moon-Eyed People. Have you heard this story?
No, I want to hear it.
The Moon-Eyed People, according to the Cherokee, which most from this part of Georgia all the way up to the Carolinas and Virginia, some parts of the Virginias, were all Cherokee land. The Cherokee claimed the Moon-Eyed People were here before they came to the land.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, there's even right here in Chatsworth, Georgia, Fort Mountain, so named because of the old stone fort, non-masonry stone fort, remains up on that mountain. The Cherokees say the Moon-Eyed People made this fort. They are about, according to them, they were smaller than regular humans, pale skin, solid white beards, and they were nocturnal.
That's strange. Okay.
Now, the Cherokee and them had a war for the land, for resources. Cherokee won, and they said they just leave everything alone. And considering we're talking about the Appalachian Mountains, the first thing that popped in my head before the Fae was the Moon-Eyed People, but I didn't see any figures.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything that could even say that there were footprints, because the Moon-Eyed People were just physical beings, not spiritual or celestial beings. So that ruled that out for me. I couldn't find no signs of a physical thing there except for those lights being there.
Yeah. So could you tell the distance those lights were from you? Could you get
Man, they were maybe 2 to 4 feet from us.
Oh, wow. That close.
Yeah. And at one point, one of them came no more than a foot from me.
Wow.
Like they were coming close, like a curious child would go look at something and then back away slowly, move forward a little bit, back away slowly again. Kind of like that motion.
That would freak me out a little bit.
I was intrigued. I'm the crazy guy. My wife says I'm the crazy white dude who'd die in a horror movie because I see something weird I have to investigate.
Probably.
I also retort with her, like, honey, those guys do not have my military training.
Just don't trip over a root in the middle of the woods.
Even if I did, if I'm falling, I'm pulling out that 45 and wait.
There you go.
And I've actually practiced that motion when I was in the military.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
So I've got another subject I like to bring up and get people's thoughts on.
Okay.
Actually, before I bring that up, let's circle back to Dogman. Have you ever had anybody ever drop you a good Dogman story or anything?
So far, I've only found one for this immediate area. And the bad thing is, they happen about 20 minutes from my house up on an area called Cloudland Canyon.
Oh, a little too close for comfort.
Not really. I got that 45 and I got a 308 rifle.
Yeah, I don't think I want to run into a Dogman, though.
Well, I got the AR-10 308 rifle. So if Dogman want to get frisky, I'll give him a free neutering.
There you go. So what? I mean, is there any details with the encounter?
All it said was they were out there camping, which this is. You can go camping up there. There's plenty. There's RV camping, tent camping. You can drive in, or they have free camping if you walk in. They have a spot for free camping. And they were in one of the paid campsites, camping out. It was a man and it was the wife and their dog.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying as it got dark, they was getting ready to settle in, and all of a sudden their dog started getting antsy, fearful, whimpering, whining, putting its head down its ears back like a dog does when it gets scolded.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they hear something large circling their camp, and it wouldn't come. It knew enough to stay out of the light. And then the fire, and then as the fire got lower, it started coming closer into them, and they got to look at this thing. It looked like as they said, it had a snout kind of like a German Shepherd or a coyote.
Yeah.
And it was walking on 2 legs the whole time. The man grabbed his 357 and let off a shot, and they packed up and left. They didn't even stay the whole night.
Yeah,
they were too afraid.
I don't blame them. So, and my thing with the Dogman is, I don't know that I want to believe that they're real, but I kind of, I kind of do. I'm not so sure they're flesh and blood. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, the Ozark Howler is a good example of a dog man or a werewolf.
yes, and this is where I'm going. This is actually where I'm kind of going along with this. Is sometimes I wonder if people, because you brought up the Gugway,
Mm-hmm.
and the Gugway has the baboon snout. I wonder sometimes if people might get a Gugway mixed up with the dog man. They're supposed to have a really nasty attitude too, from what I hear.
Both creatures.
Yeah, both creatures.
And when you're afraid, when your fear's pumping, your adrenaline's going, you're going to exaggerate details and read them at the moment.
Yeah.
So I can understand that.
So,
but at the same notion, why are we seeing big, giant dog prints about the size of a human foot?
But that's another thing where I was getting ready to go, because there's so many people that do have encounters that, man, their details are just too spot on.
Too spot on.
Yeah, because I'm not going to mistake a baboon for a and then, you know, especially when they describe the legs and they sound like dog legs because they say they have a goofy bend in them, and the Bigfoot don't have that. So
no, they have legs more like ours.
Yeah, so that's why it's I'm not sure what side of the road. I mean, I leave my mind open to any option, but I'm not sure what side of the road I want to ride on that.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way with every investigation. I go in. My method is I try to explain logically what could cause this.
Yeah.
What could nature have done to cause this to happen with a tree structure or odd print? If I can't explain it, then I'll chalk it up to cryptid activity.
Yeah, I got you.
So if I can't explain it, and I've been going in and out of the woods all 41 years of my life, there's something that I am not used to there.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, I'm used to bear, and like I said, bear, coyote, mountain lion. I'm used to all these that we have out here, predatory-wise, large predatory-wise.
Oh, yeah. No, I got you. Yeah, because, you know, I had my encounter, and I've been hunting in the woods. I had it since I was 8 years old. But the night that it happened, I knew I was up against something I've not been up against before. So, you know, I get that. I get that saying, yeah, I can explain this. I can explain this. I can explain this. But once your back's against the wall and you got nothing to explain it, you got to go elsewhere.
Exactly. I think what Sherlock Holmes said, if you eliminate the illogical, however, the probable, what remains must be the truth.
Yeah, that is one of his sayings. That's funny. So I'm going to bring up another subject I like to talk about, and then give kind of a premise of where I stand on it, is portals. So portals, I know portals are possible. They are possible. Do Bigfoot use them? I don't know. I honestly think that they have abilities in their mind or their brain that we can't explain. I don't think humans have them. We may have had them at one point and lost the ability, but they have held on to it. But I also think that it's possible that they can use the portals, and that the portals are naturally occurring. I don't know if they have the ability to make them appear or not, but I think a lot of times too, when people say, "Oh, it just disappeared," you know, I also think back to the way regular nature can just disappear. You know, when you're watching it, and it might seem like a portal.
Yeah, there's even stories of Native American legends throughout the country of stuff like that happening.
Yeah.
But now, as a stud of portals, I've yet to experience one, so I can't give an honest answer. Is it plausible? Yes. Like I said, how can natives from one end of the country all the way to the other end of the country all have a similar description of something like that happening, and they never knew each other?
Yeah. That's one of my big things too, because that goes beyond the print on paper. You know, all these tribes, all these, because I just did a solo episode about Daniel Boone, And Daniel Boone had, the Appalachians. That's, he made that the Wilderness Trail. That was him.
Yeah.
He ran into a Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
They don't talk about it a lot. You have to dig to find the story, but he ran into it. Lewis and Clark, they also ran into one.
Davy Crockett
did. I mean, Leif Erikson, the Viking, has an encounter. I mean, and these
Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah, he had in his book, what is it, The Wilderness Hunter?
Yeah, he had that book where he didn't have the encounter, but he was out hunting on an expedition, and he heard it secondhand from the guys who had experienced it.
Yeah, and he called it a goblin at the time, I think is what he called it.
I have a theory about why he's talking about how Bigfoot have these abilities and we don't. My theory is this. If you look, I'm not big on the theory of evolution, but let's go with it for a minute because I'm a Christian. God put us here as we are right now. And we evolved from that, Adam and Eve. But let's go with the idea of evolution for a moment. Human beings, Bigfoot, we're on the same evolutionary path together. All of a sudden, we spread off technology, fire, the wheel, indoor plumbing. Bigfoot stayed on the course of nature. And he may have learned more secrets about nature than we will ever remember.
Oh, 100%.
And that's why I think they are so much better in the woods than we ever dare dream.
Oh, I can agree with that. I can agree with that because, and plus they don't have I would call pollution of the mind that we get.
Exactly.
Because, and I think that comes from a lot of different things. I think it comes from the stuff we put in our bodies. Yeah, right there. It comes from technology. I mean, it comes from a lot of different things.
Yeah, because humans have gotten so dependent on technology. When I was in the military, I met a guy who did not know how to use a compass and a map. And I'm like, awesome. What are you doing in the military?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
I could draw a map and you can't even read one?
Yeah, I know. It kills me nowadays when people like, you can't, and we're just dumbing ourselves down more every day. You can't go anywhere without being able to find it on your Google Maps and having it tell you where to go. Shit.
Yeah, now granted, I do use Google Maps to get to new locations if I've never been there before.
Yeah.
But I also, if available, I will get a old-fashioned map of that area too.
Yep.
And I will use that map more than I use this daggone phone compass and junk on this thing.
Well, I told you I lived in Atlanta for a while, and yeah, and I remember, and it was a long time ago, but that's how I got there. A map, the actual map I looked at. I still remember it. Because my dad was a truck driver, and he gave me the map, and he gave me his map book.
Both raised by truck drivers.
Yeah.
And in fact, my uncle was also a truck driver, so I got a double dose.
Ah, there you go. That's a good, honest living right there. He was good.
Yes, man. It is. Any truck driver who may be listening or watching, my hat's off to y'all. I don't care what they say. You guys keep this nation flowing.
Oh, hell yeah. Remember when, I know we're getting off topic here, but remember when when COVID and everything was shutting everything down and the trucks couldn't get around? What did that cause? Chaos. Yeah.
You see, I'm happy because I know how to live off the land. I know how to make things from scratch. I can do bushcrafting all the way up to modern day survival tactics. So I was living easy peasy while everyone else was frigging out.
There you go. All right. Well, we're rolling up on about 45 minutes here.
Yeah, I got one more for you that I want to tell you about.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, you want to drop anything else?
As I said, I do my research and I dig as deep as possible in my research. And I found an old story of a Bigfoot encounter about 3 miles from my house, right toward the mountain here.
All right.
And it goes to the 1800s, just a little bit after the Civil War ended.
Oh, cool. I love the old story.
It came from the Atlanta Constitution. I will send you the link to this if you like after the show.
Yeah, definitely.
This prospector was getting samples up on a ridge, and he came across this large, hairy creature carrying a big, branch like it was a cane. Now, if you look at the description of this creature that he saw, and then you look into the Cherokee mythology of the Stone Man, they are identical.
Huh.
I'll send you a link to both, the Stone Man story and this encounter.
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard about the Stone Man.
Basically, they call him Stone Coat also. Kind of a rival, or depending on which version of the story, or a lover to Spearfinger.
Spearfinger?
Yeah.
So who the hell's Spearfinger?
The most speared entity in all Cherokee stories.
Okay.
She is a shapeshifter. She can make herself look like a sweet grandma or a lost child.
Oh, wow.
So named, though, because on her main finger, on her right hand, it comes off into a spear shape. It looks like it's made of obsidian. It's as sharp as a razor blade. She always had to keep that hidden. Now, the Cherokee supposedly defeated her with the help of the forest animals because they had to destroy her heart. Her heart wasn't here. It was in the palm of her hand.
Oh, wow. That's
but
creepy.
there are some who still say you hear her screams and shrills throughout the night in the Smoky Mountains where they supposedly took her out.
Huh. Ah, that's a cool story. that was cool. That was cool.
Anyway,
like
depending on which Cherokee story you hear, he was either a rival or a lover to Spearfinger.
Probably both, because isn't that how relationships work?
What do you think, honey? Is that how it works? Sometimes rivals, sometimes lovers? She's like, true. My wife's right over here, y'all. She's just so beautiful. Okay, she don't want to be seen on camera today.
Well, tell her we said hi. That's all right.
She's waving hi at y'all.
All right.
Yeah, she took a nap earlier, so she's not looking. She said she looks a mess. I say she looks beautiful though.
That's what they all say, man.
But now they both lived on human livers. Both these entities do. Spearfinger particularly loved children's livers.
Ooh.
Now here's the creepy thing. I'm about to mess with your head. If you today look at the number of missing children in the Smoky Mountains compared to other parts of the rural areas, there's more children in the Smoky Mountains go missing than any part of the rural area in the country.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Now think about that. And that's where supposedly Spearfinger still haunts.
There you go. Well, I'm glad I'm not a kid because I've been to the Smoky Mountains.
But I find that little fun fact fascinating as can be.
I love fun facts.
And one of these days, I would love to go spend a whole month in the wilds of the Smoky Mountains and try to hunt this thing down.
There you go. Well, you do that.
Honestly, and my wife's over here going like, "You crazy? You crazy?" And me. But here's the thing, because that thing is a threat to humans. My plan is, if I do get a chance to go after it, I'm taking it out.
Well, don't let it take you out, because if you take it out, you can come back on, and man,
I'll have that hand mounted on my wall if I get that lucky.
Perfect. That sounds good. I like it. Oh, all right, Greg. Well, I had a good time interviewing you tonight.
I had a blast. I always have a blast when I'm a guest on shows. I know I've seen a link to my YouTube. What did you think of that one? About some of that stuff?
Oh, it's good. Good. Yeah. So everybody out there, so this is your chance to promote your stuff. Everybody out there, go check out his channel. You want to tell them where to find that at?
You can find me on YouTube under the name Backwoods Cryptids, as it says right here next to my actual name and below my name. So you got two chances to read it: fine print or good print. Right now I've got three playlists, which I'm going to add this show to that. I got one playlist for each investigation I'm working on.
Okay. One
for Green Eyes, one for Bigfoot in this area, and then one for shows I've been guest on.
Okay.
And I'm about to work on another one for Fae and Moon-Eyed people. So depending on what I just figure out this might have been I saw last night.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd probably like to watch that one when you get it done.
But getting to that location would take a while and a lot of gas. So I might be able to do the Fae Moon-Eyed people one as much.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, everybody out there, go check out his site. He's got some good stuff on there, and he's doing some good things with his time. So From everybody out here at Cryptid Quest, thanks for joining us tonight, and keep it creepy.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out in the woods where the shadows creep, I'm trying to find the legend that the people keep. Bigfoot's the name, got a story to tell. Footprints in the mud, can't you hear the bell? Whispers in the night, can you feel that chill? Bigfoot on the run, he's a legend, keep it real. Bigfoot, yeah, he's the talk of the town. Creeping through the trees, never wearing a frown. Legend of the forest, he's got a big stride. As the trap beats thump, you know he's got pride. Like I'm on a quest, searching for the homie, you know he's the best. Got my camera ready, heightened senses on blast. Snap a shot of Sasquatch, legend unsurpassed. Eyes in the dark, you can't catch what you can't see. King of the woods, living wild and free. Bigfoot, yeah, he's the talk of the town. Creeping through the trees, never wearing a frown. Legend of the forest, he's got a big stride. As the trap beats thump, you know he's got pride.